there's a lot of older insurance agents that have kids. Getting into AI is incredibly smart considering where we're going as a culture.
Yeah.
So I'd love to know your thoughts on how can somebody that's just like, I don't even know where to start with AI. I'd love to get my kid into it or me to change careers. That is one question. The
Yep.
other one would be, I would love to know your take on self-defense in AI.
Hold up.
Well, when I said defense, I meant like the Pentagon. I have
Yeah.
very little interest in being involved in the self-defense market. It's paltry and nominal and not interesting to me at all.
Right.
The
That's what I
DoD
meant.
is of exceedingly high interest to me, particularly
Yeah.
with China tensions and the trembling fall of the West. In the current circumstance that we're in. So so I'll talk on the career side first.
Okay.
I think there's I don't pressure people to get involved technically with AI if it isn't to their liking. So if you have a kid who really has a propensity towards programming or has a genuine interest therein, I think it can be a great skill. I think that if I was introduced to programming at an earlier age, I might have done that instead of learning to choke people. And who knows where my career would be there. I would have prettier ears. I might not be in as good of a shape, but I would have much prettier ears. No cauliflower ear, and I might know how to code something. So I think introduction to that early on is great. But the fact of the matter is, for folks pivoting their career later, there's actually a huge amount of value in understanding conceptually how AI works, understanding the range of AI use cases, and being able to kind of communicate and be the bridge between the data scientists and the subject matter experts to find the actual fit in the business. As it turns out, that is harder and more rare than having a master's or a PhD in computer science or AI. It's harder and more rare to actually conceptually have a grasp of what can AI do, what are its limitations, what are its opportunities, what are the range of use cases, and where do we find that business click? What kind of data are we going to need? What kind of teams what kind of folks are we going to have to bring onto our cross-functional team to make this happen? What sort of strategic thinking ahead of time are we going to need to do to see if that conversational flow is even something that we can expect to get to with AI? Which of these vendors are hype? Which of them aren't? I can write a bit of code. I passed Andrew Ng's AI course on Coursera a while back just to get the conceptual grasp. But if you asked me to code something that I would have to use in my business, I would say, no, I'm going to pay somebody to do that. So what I would say around career is, for kids, I think it's great to introduce them to programming early. I think it's only going to be more and more relevant. I think it would have been really cool if I was introduced to that as well. But later in career, folks who can really get a conceptual grasp, I think, can be that bridge without having to pivot their brain into being now a programmer, which is a very different shift if you're a salesperson or, an inventory manager or whatever it is, but instead be the person who can be the bridge. Those folks, frankly, are even more valuable. So I tend to recommend people do that unless they really want to learn how to code and make such a hard pivot.
Love it.
Hey, you've got to check out the Insurance Dude's Inner Circle coming soon, where you get extended interviews as well as live coffee talks in our private Facebook group. Join the mailing list today at theinsurancedudespodcast.com. Hey, thanks for checking out The Insurance Dudes. Hey, please subscribe. We got some really great stuff coming out.